Just be patient. We're waiting for guests to arrive. Yes, we're waiting for guests to arrive. As soon as we have a guest, then we'll play the intro. How hard is that? See, we have a guest. Now we play the intro, okay? Is that agreeable with you? Oh, no! No! Holy shit! Oh, from the WDWL TV multiplex, live from Grumpy Studio, with great anticipation, we bring you the pride of the station. The grumpy old man, me, and the dumpy, grumpy disco vulture. Take your bow. Oh, very dignified. Okay, I'm still thinking about taking the banner off. But in the meantime, back in your corner. Back in the corner. Look at the camera. Greetings, friends. I hope the mic sounds okay. I haven't used my Samsung G-Track Pro in ages. And I decided, let's dust it off. And there's feedback and echo. Oh, for Christ's sake. Really? How about now? Still? We still got feedback and echo? I'm making some adjustments here. Buzzing? Oh, for Christ's sake. Oh. Damn it. Damn it, damn it, damn it. How about now? Any better? This used to be one of the best mics. This was a killer mic. Really? Oh, for Christ's sake. Oh. All right, let me try a little more adjustment here. How about now? I don't know. It's gone. We're good to go now. I can actually do a show now. This was for the longest time my go-to mic, and I never had a problem. You know, we're good to go. Because I'm starting to panic here. Because I'm trying to figure out if I have to change a mic. I'm gonna have to kill the show and start all over. So we're okay? Because I don't want to go through killing. That means I got to stop and start every. I'm okay to go. I'm really in. I'm in panic. I'm in panic mode. Oh, I used this mic for ages, and I never had a problem with it. And that really disturbs me that it's going to give me a problem. I changed some settings. As a matter of fact, I'm using settings I never used before. See, I should have tested the damn thing. This is what happens when you assume. I assumed everything would fine. Just put it in the mount, plug it in. Because tomorrow, I'm going to bring out one of my Blue Yeti microphones. And I think what I'm going to have to do is run a test. Before. No. Whether you're wearing headphones or listening to speakers out of your computer, no. If there's a buzz and a hum, it's on this end. And it's obvious when I went to, what did I go to? Single? Yeah, I went to single because there's two microphone heads so that you could set it straight up on the desk and have a person talking on this side. And so I went to single, which is right here. And then I think we were getting some feedback out of my headphones. So I turned my headphone volume down. And that seems to have cured the problem. But tomorrow I'm going to test the microphone before I start a show. See, I have several, Blue, B-L-U-E, Blue is a division of Logitech. And that is their microphone division. And I have several Blue microphones. I've got the Blue Yeti, I got the Blue Yeti Nano, I've got the Blue Yeti, what the hell? I got one that's got built-in sound effects in the microphone. A lot of people don't like them. But there, I can remember the days of just AM radio, how tinny it sounded. Well, I can do an AM radio in that microphone. And then I can do an FM radio, which basically that was the stereo mode. It's a neat mic. I haven't used it in a while. Okay. You know me. I can't go to the store without some shit happening. Today, I go to the store, and before I have my ass out of the shit box, I get two black guys approaching me. That one looked like Fred Sanford and the other one looked like Grady. And they're tapping on the window. So I did sovereign citizen. I rolled the window down about like that. And I was like, what? The scam. It goes on every year. They point across the parking lot. My grandbabies are in the car and we broke down. We need some gas. Could you spare some money for some gas? I said, I don't have any money on me. If you're on Social Security, you're on direct deposit like me. What? And you got no change? I said, what do you not understand of I have no money? Oh, come on, man. You just fucking with us. Okay, you asked for it. I said, well, let me get out of the truck. So they step back. Hang on, Miss Generous. So they step back, and as I exited the truck, my jacket just happened to fall open. Now you know what's right here. Well, Fred and Grady beat feet really quick. My buddy worked again. I never took it out. I just, all the time. Oh, yeah. Ever since the law passed, June 13th, 2022. Me and my Taurus G2C are buddies. I would show it, but you get in trouble for that shit on YouTube. Everybody be like, I have a nice custom grip. I have a green laser with flashlight, and I have optical sights, which are, they're fiber optic. At night, they're like night vision goggles. We have, and it goes on, we got them standing at the freeway exits, and they go through the shopping centers. They're scammers. There's no broke down car. There's no grandbabies freezing in a back seat. They bust them every year. There was one group last year that worked the freeway exit ramp up the street for me. There were 4 of them. They took turns, rotation. They were making $200 a day. Each. Because they would approach women mainly. And women feel sorry for these people. Here, I'll give you 20. Will that work? Because they play the homeless routine and their clothes look like shit. They had an I-Team reporter with a hidden camera last summer. When they were done for the day, they got into a 2-year-old Cadillac Escalade. We're broke. We're homeless. And that was the same scam that Grady and Fred Sanford were pulling in the shopping plaza. So when I got in the store, I told the security guard. And he said, again? He said, I just ran them off. And I said, yeah, they're, So I'm walking down the aisle in the store because I need to get me some more Tony Paco's hot dog sauce. And a senior, about my age, he walked up to me, he said, they got you too? I said, well, they tried to get me. I said, they wouldn't let me out of the truck. He says, well, how did you get them to leave? Now, in this store, you're not allowed to have your little buddy. And there's cameras everywhere. So, all I did was I said, I have a little friend in a shoulder holster. He's like, oh. I said, yeah. And my dumb ass, I forgot to put it in my gun safe in the truck. If I get caught, I'm in trouble. Because this store, no buddies. No little buddies allowed. Because last summer, I'll just come out and say it, a black female threatened the clerk at the service desk. And she pulled a weapon. It was amazing. Within 24 hours, every one of his stores, and he's got about 100, had full-time armed security, and the emblems went up on the doors. No little buddies. Now, you know the amazing thing? I can go in to Family Dollar. No. Take that back. Dollar General and Dollar Tree with no problem. Both of these stores are owned by Family Dollar. You cannot go in a Family Dollar with a little buddy. You can go in their other stores with a little buddy. It don't make sense to me why they segregated that store But Family Dollar, Dollar Tree, Dollar General, Save-A-Lot, Aldi's. It's amazing the stores you can go into. And it's amazing the stores you can't. Now, you can't, hospitals, no. Banks, no. But ever since June 13th, 2022, now, I used to carry, before it was legal, I have a gorgeous little 25 automatic, a stainless steel, beautiful little piece, fits in your hand. I used to carry it in my boot. Actually, I could drop it in a pocket, you wouldn't know. But then, when Ohio passed the carry law that said no permit, no nothing. You don't need nothing. You go to the certain supply store and make a purchase, and if you can pass the federal check. So, a week before the law went into effect, I went out. Now, I don't know if they're nationwide. It's called Fin, Fur, and Feather, or Fin, Feather, and Fur. Stupid name for a sporting goods store. And they had these little buddies on sale. So I took advantage of the sale. And then I took it to a friend of mine who is a gunsmith, and whoops. And he put a custom grip on it for me, and he put the laser flashlight and the fiber optic sights. And then we fine-tuned the green laser. So now, wherever my little dot lands, that's where that little item that comes out of the front of it lands. So that was my interesting trip to the store. Now, I'm watching more of the sovereign citizen videos. And I hear this woman mention the land of Tartaria. She's from the land of Tartaria. So I looked up. Gargle, Tartaria. It supposedly existed before the 13 colonies. And when the 13 colonies were formed, Tartaria got erased from history. Well, now they're claiming they're, Aboriginal ancestors of Tartaria. So, another video, a woman gets stopped And get this. She pulls out an identification card. It's the Lami Tustin Google Gecko Nation identification card. And her name was Kalarn Testanu. Now, the tribal headquarters are located at 123 Main Street, Chicago, Illinois, Cook County, Illinois, Republic. If you gargle 123 Main Street in Chicago, it's the middle of an intersection. No such address. I gargled it. I looked it up on Gargle Map. The closest thing to it is 132 Main Street, which is an apartment complex. But 123 is the middle of an intersection. No such headquarters. Look at the name of that nation. Lobby Tustenuk Gik Luko. Tustenuk Leknek. Yeah. That was the official ID card. Oh, it had a seal on it. It looked did it look official? Her ID card. Even the cop went, how the hell do you say that nation? And she couldn't pronounce it. But she's a member of this nation. More of the send your money and we'll send you a packet so you can be a sovereign citizen. And I'm really thinking of looking for some retirement property in Tartaria, if I could find it. It might be on the outskirts of Florida, maybe on the outskirts of California, maybe in the middle of a Hawaiian island. I would hope it's not like on the outskirts of Antarctica. I wouldn't want no retirement property there. But yeah, I had to print that out. I was like, nobody's going to believe it, first of all, and I can't pronounce it for second of all. But yeah, that address is the middle of an intersection. What I'm wondering, if you put this in Gargle, they have a 5-page charter that they filed with Cook County, Illinois, with a phony address, and it's got gold seals on it and official stamps, and yeah, 5 pages. Gargle it. Gargle that nation and read the bullshit on their official charter. Oh, it was hilarious. I was laughing my ass off. That will be scratch paper now. See, what I do is I will make that into 4 sections. And then I cut it, and I have a pile on the corner of the console. And then what I do is I take that, and I fold it like that, and I make my grocery list. No nomad tonight. And you know, I emailed him, but I didn't check my email before showtime. And no mirrors, it figures. I'm waiting to ask Mears a question, and he's not here. And neither is Neckbeard. My public is leaving me. I'm sad. Oh, they'll be around. The time difference. They're probably napping and they're lazy boys, you know. Okay. Yeah, I know. See, that's the problem when they try to be up during our normal hours to follow things, and then, they end up with less and less sleep. Because there's a lot of time during during the morning, Nomad will be in certain chats. So, yeah. He either took a little nappy or he went to bed early. Now, who was my Timu doubter? Or did you hear something negative about Timu? I know we talked about it last week. Somebody said they kind of got ripped off or Timu had crap. I'll show you something I got today. Now, $1.12. I figure for $1.12, it's a work light. $1.12. I see you. Rechargeable. Magnet on the bottom. You could hook it, onto metal, like if you're working under the hood of the car. $1.12. Rechargeable. If it lasts 2 months, who cares? I have 2 more coming tomorrow. They're in camo. They were 2 for $2.12. So I bought 2 more. Because I'll take the camo ones and I'll put one in the RAV4 and I'll put one in the shit box. And if I get the car that I'm hoping to get, this one will go in that one. I'm trying to negotiate something. My neighbor who passed away across the street, I've been trying to catch his son. He's got a shitload of cars. And I know the son just wants to off them. No, they all got problems. Well, there is a jade metallic green 01 VW Passat with a manual. And I'm trying to negotiate to buy it wisely, frugally, cheap. Because I know he's going to get rid of all it. Because he wants to clear the property out. And it's the only problem is VW Passats are basically Audi A4s with Volkswagen sheet metal. And first of all, they're expensive to repair, and they're quirky pain in the asses. So I'm hoping there's not a lot wrong with this car. See, his father was the type where he would just buy shit. Now he's got a Porsche 924 back there that I would love to have. But it's got a multitude of problems. But I'll tell you, I'd love to have it. That one can go to the junkyard. I won't cry too much about that one. But this VW Passat, I want it. Because I have written, now, last summer, I talked to a bunch of young guys that are these tuners. They take and do unbelievable things with Hondas and VWs, and you ought to see, oh man. There was one, what the hell was it? It was a Honda Accord. It had a turbocharger on it like this. And he told me it made some horsepower. So I was telling him about this Passat because I ran into him about a week and a half ago. And he said, we could play with it a little bit. I said, well, I don't want to get crazy. He said, no turbos. Don't worry. But he said, between me and my buddies, we can go in the computer with the laptop and make some changes. And then he said we could put in like bigger injectors. And he goes, don't worry, we've got them. We'll just do it for fun, just to give you a hot rod. And I was like, oh boy. So I want this Passat. Plus, being a 5-speed, it'll fit right in with Grumpy's fleet. And I have some more police lights in the basement to put on the roof. Yeah. One of these days, I will show you. Well, if you go into my old videos, you'll see my shitbox and my RAV4 with the police lights on the roof. I just love having them. And in Ohio, you can. As long as you're not running down the street with them going and sirens. Ohio don't care. As long as they're not red or blue. Any other color, okay. So mine are green and white. Did you see the shitbox in the RAV4? So now you know what I'm talking about. I get the weirdest looks. I got pulled in the shopping center, you know. They look at that rotten, rusty shitbox with the roof lights on it like, what the hell is that? Got a flying saucer on the roof. I like lights. And oh, I could lay this Passat out. Oh yeah. I've got the you name it. Lights in the grill, lights inside, the ones in the windshield. I wouldn't put the bar on the roof because I have enough to make it like an undercover vehicle. Yeah, right. So I'm hoping to negotiate because I really want that car. Because I'm saving another manual transmission. It's sad. Kids today don't want to drive them. They don't want to learn. I ordered some bumper stickers. Save the manuals. And that's one of the things I'm going to stress to my neighbor's son. I've driven manual transmissions since I was 15. I learned on it. I've had a manual ever since. I want to save that car from the crusher. It's kind of a passion with me. I would love to save the Porsche. I can't afford that one. And I don't know what he's got in the garage. I can't see in the garage. And I've never been around when the garage door's open. That could be an interesting. Open that garage and say, like a Bentley or something, Oh my God, look, a Rolls. Forget the Passat. See, that is my ultimate wish, to own a Rolls. I just have had a. You would have to be my age. Although you can gargle it. There was a TV program called Burke's Law. And this cop was a millionaire. And he went to crime scenes in a Rolls Royce. And ever since that day, when that program first aired, I've wanted one. I've gotten to ride in them. I've never gotten to drive one. I go on eBay in the auto section and I look at all the Rolls Royces for sale. And I want one. Oh, really? Oh, that's got to look cool. What color? Rock lights. Oh, man. You're into lights too, huh? Wow, do we have things in common? Too bad we're not neighbors. Oh. Whose idea was it for the rock lights? Oh, you got the fancy ones, the RGBs. Oh, God. How cool. Oh, man. That's on your F-150. Or is it a 250? Is it a 150 or a 250? And is it, I'm trying to think of the year. Is it a 10 or a 13? See, it all goes back to when we crossed paths at Kaiser Meats. See, I wasn't positive. I knew it was one or the other, a 10 or a 13. And you drive it. It's your daily driver. A girl after my own heart. I always I always wished I could meet and marry a girl that owned a toolbox, a jack, a set of torches, and drove a pickup truck. And I could never. I always thought it would be neat. Instead of going out to dinner for a date, we took turns polishing each other's tools. Say, oh my God, look, oh, you got one of them wrenches? Oh, gee, I don't have one of them. You got a better jack than I've got too. Oh my God. There was, when I was taking one of the night mechanics courses, it was hilarious. This girl came right from work. Uh, it was the first night of the class, and this girl pulls in the parking lot, and she's in a really nice, pretty blouse and a nice skirt. And everybody in the class was like, oh yeah, this one. Yeah. Mm-hmm. What's she doing here? Trying to learn how to put air in her tires? So that was orientation. the next week, she rolls in a Ford Ranger that was lifted, that had a custom exhaust on it, big fucking wheels, big tires, and did it roar. And she jumped out of the truck with a greasy jumpsuit on and shut every one of the guys up because she put the lift kit on. She did the custom exhaust herself. She even mounted her own tires. I was like, oh my God, marry me. She slid back it was a fiberglass bed cover that opened like a hood. And the tools all snap on. She put us to shame. It was like, oh, Jesus. I got my Craftsman toolbox in the truck, and she's got, $20,000 worth of snap-on tools in hers. But that first night, when she come in the high heels and the skirt and the blouse, all the guys in the class were like, oh, gee, we'll be changing her tires on her car. Well, it wasn't her car. It was her sister's car. I don't know why she didn't drive the truck the first night, but when she come in the second night of class, she blew us all away. Where did you learn all that from? Your father? Or did you have brothers? Or not too many females are like you. I like the idea with the lights in the fender wells. Oh, light up them tires at night. Now, did Dad do it for a living? Or was he a really gung-ho backyard mechanic that wanted his daughter to change the oil in his car? You got to learn somehow, dear. Crawl underneath there. Watch when you loosen that bolt in the drain pan. Oops. My neighbors laugh at me because I change my own oil. I do all my work on my truck. Matter of fact, last summer, I bought a new jack from Harbor Freight. I got the neat NASCAR jack that's got, instead of having the wheels, it's got the roller in the front. And like 3 pumps and the car is up. And you take the handle off and it's got a carry handle on the side of the jack. And yeah, it was regularly like $149 on sale for $89 at Harbor Freight. I love it. I buy a lot of shit from Harbor Freight. People are like, oh, that. Since Sears went out of business, okay, Jenny. Trevitan. And you know, Craftsman kind of got passed around between Home Depot and Lowe's, and nobody could figure out, where. And then Craftsman ended up at Ace Hardware. So Harbor Freight, the owners of Harbor Freight said, hey, we got to upgrade our tools. Now, they don't have that lifetime guarantee, but I'll tell you what, their Pittsburgh line of tools are wonderful. Because Craftsman tools today are made in fucking China. They're crap. And they really fight you on warranty. I'll tell you what, I swore by Craftsman. And over the years, I've got rid of my Craftsman, and I've been buying from Harbor Freight. And their Pittsburgh line of tools are pretty decent. Self-taught. All right, Jenny. Cool. You learned real early. Don't depend on a male to do anything for you. My kind of female. Oh, I'll tell you what. I got into a hell of an argument up at Ace Hardware over warranty on a 19 millimeter socket. And they told me I abused it. I said, look how thin the wall is. I said, it's like tissue paper. Put a little force on it and it broke. And they were telling me I abused it. Well, you know me. I took the socket off the counter and I told the store manager, you ain't seen the last of me. And I emailed the CEO of Ace Hardware. And I took pictures of the socket and I said, hey, it's a brand new socket. First time I used it, it broke. About 2 weeks later, I get a phone call from the store manager of my local Ace Hardware. We have your socket when you're ready to pick it up. I said, do me a favor. Do you have the socket handy? He said, oh, it's right here on next to the cash register. I said, okay. Do this for me. Are you right-handed or left-handed? He said, I don't know what that has to do with it if I'm right-handed. I said, okay. Firmly hold that socket in your right hand. He said, what? I said, take the socket and firmly hold it in your right hand. Have you got it in your hand? Well, yeah. I said, now, drop your pants and shove that socket up your ass. Click. And I've never been in, as a matter of fact, it went bankrupt. That one went bankrupt. They closed it. Yeah, he couldn't believe what I told him. Firmly holding your hand. Now shove it up your ass. And I went to Harbor Freight and bought me a 19 millimeter Pittsburgh socket. And I use it on a regular basis. And in 2 years, it hasn't broke yet. And it's a chrome. I use it with an impact gun. So I am abusing the shit out of it. But I didn't break the Craftsman one with an impact. I had it on a breaker bar. 18-inch breaker bar. Snap. First time I used it. And then they told me, you're abusing it. Well, I'm abusing the shit out of the Pittsburgh one, but matter of fact, I got a set of impact sockets. They're American and metric. Got a whole nice carry box. Oh, you ought to see some of the tools I got. I needed a cabinet, though. I've been looking at the cabinets at Harbor Freight because I really like that green one that they have. Have you seen the tool cabinets? They come in all colors now. Red, yellow, blue, green. The green is sharp. I'm really tempted. I'll tell you what. I never get out of Harbor Freight for less than $50. And it never fails. I'll go in for one item. Get to the cash register. That'll be $52.95, Grumpy. Again. I mean, Harbor Freight is an adult toy store. They should name the Tools R Us. Because it's like Toys R Us for me. You know the creepers that kind of contour to your body, and they got the pockets for the tools on the side. I got one of them. And you know the little red stool that you sit on, and it's got a tool tray underneath. It's like the ones in the doctor's office. I got one of them. Ramps. I bought those composite, basically they're plastic, composite auto ramps. Work like a charm. I love them. They're light, they're easy to carry. I used to have them steel ramps that weighed as much as a boat motor. And then if they weren't all tightened around, they rocked. I bought them plastic composite ramps. They're good for 3,000 pounds. I use the shit out of mine. Comes oil change day, up on the ramp. Get my creeper out. Oh. Slide underneath the car. I never have taken my car to a mechanic. Never. I do it all myself. I'm waiting for the weather to get better because I'm dying to get that RAV4 back on the road. See, when it went down on me last year, it was the beginning of fall and it got too goddamn cold to work on it. I've got all the parts in it. I'm ready to go. Because I can't wait to irritate the shit out of my neighbors. Because when the exhaust system got rusty and I had to take the exhaust system off, I said, screw this exhaust system. So off the catalytic converter, I have a piece of straight pipe. And then I've got a 8-inch thrush muffler, cherry bomb, 8-inch. And then I got a pipe that goes out the right side, right in front of the wheel. And when I get on that thing, it irritates the shit out of the neighbors. Oh. Yeah, I went on eBay. I couldn't believe it. I found an 8-inch goddamn muffler. 8 inches. I was like, oh, this'll work. The only thing I had to do was go up to the muffler shop and have them bend me a pipe. So it comes off and then it goes at a bit of a right angle out the side, right in front of the right wheel. And then I've got an exhaust tip that goes from 2.5 inches to 4. And it's about like that. So it rumbles and echoes. Looks like a diesel pipe out the side of the car. My neighbors just shake their head. Oh, Jesus. So I can't wait to get that thing running again. I'm building, on the police cars, under the rocker panels, when they have the zigzag lights, the red and blue zigzags, I'm building a set for the RAV. I'm just about done soldering all the connections. I made my own. I can't wait to have it. Green and white. As a matter of fact, I bought a soldering gun at Harbor Freight, and it's got an automatic feed on it. I love it. You put the roll of solder on the back, and then just like an arc torch, like a welding torch, I got a soldering gun. Feeds its own solder. That way I can work one hand very easy now. I don't have to hold the solder and try to... Yeah, I build a lot of my own shit. But now you give me an idea for the fender wells on the RAV. I like that idea. Did they come in a kit? Was it a kit? And does it have a remote? Or do you have an app? A lot of these new light sets, you have a goddamn app. Unbelievable. The more we talk, the more I find out. Oh, it's got, oh, okay. You got the better one. Drive along and change the colors. Just make sure you don't hit red or blue. Again? I thought we fixed that. I went to this used to be my go-to mic. And I dug it out and I said, oh, I'm going to use it tonight. And I didn't test it. And it's been, I turned, I made adjustments, I backed shit down. I'm only going to use it tonight. I should know better. I really should. First of all, I should test shit. But see, it was all I did the last time was just unplugged it and I hung it on the rack. And all I did tonight was put it in the mount and plugged it in. And evidently, I must have screwed some adjustments up or something when I had it hanging over here. Oh, Bob, that mic, I shit canned it. I put it back in the box. I put it in the cabinet. I put a sign on, do not use. Because that one was aggravating. This one, I know what it is. I think we're getting it from my headset. But it's just an experiment. I want to see how it. If you saw the microphones I've got, I probably got 40. All different MXLs. This is a Samson. This is a G-Track Pro. It's a damn good mic. And then Blue Yeti mics up the ass. The reason I have so many is I had a buddy that had a YouTube channel. And he was the type, if a mic caught his eye, he bought it. And he must have had at least 40 microphones still in the box. Never used them. So when he passed, his wife said, hey, come over and take your pick. He said Ronnie would love for you to have his stuff. So I talked to his son first. And his son said, no, I want the mixers. I wanted one of them mixers. He goes, the microphones, help yourself. And he had mounts. And if he went on a website and he saw a mic that interested him, he bought it. And most of the time, he'd open the box and go, oh, that's nice. Close the box, put it in the cabinet. Never use them. And I never knew he had that much shit. until I went down his basement. And he had a little room built like a studio. And his wife opened the cabinet, and I was like, holy shit, it's a microphone warehouse. And you name it. Like I've got, if you're familiar with MXL microphones, I've got the Patriot, which is a collector's item because it's red, white, and blue and gold. And then I've got, what is it? They're all the MXL 990 series. I've got the Blizzard, which is the white mic with the blue LEDs inside. And then I've got the Blaster, which is all black with red LEDs inside. And then the Patriot. And, oh, God, I got more microphones than China's got rice. And I was going through the cabinet looking for wiring is what I was looking for. Some cables. And this was in the cabinet. And I went, oh, I'll bring it out. And I didn't test it. So that's why we got problems. And I'm trying to stay back from it so that I don't overmodulate the damn thing. Because that was part of the problem. But I appreciate you telling me I still got a problem with it. Because after the show tonight, it's going back in the cabinet. I need to leave well enough alone. That's the thing. I've got that mic that I've been using, the one that changes colors. And I should just leave things alone. You know, it's the idea. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. That mic has been working perfect. No problem. Leave it. But no. I was like, oh, I haven't used this one in a while. I turned the volume down for my headset. I think that's part of the thing. We were getting feedback. But if I turn it too far down, I won't hear nothing. Again. All right, I turned it down a little bit more. Still bad? Oh, now I can't hear. All right, you know what I'm going to do? I'll turn the modulation down. All right, I went down about 3 clicks. Is it any better or is it still crappy? You know, I got into an argument with my oncologist because he wants me to quit. And he told me, switch to cigars. He said, believe it or not, it'll be easy to quit the cigarettes. smoking a cigar. And he said, you might only smoke like 3 or 4 a day. And I've really been kicking the idea around. So, let me know how you're doing. And if it seems to be working, I'll give it a try. Because I told him, I said, yeah, I've been smoking since I was 14. I said, if I quit cold turkey, I said, I'll end up in the hospital. So he said, switch to cigars. And he said, not them little, he said, get a decent cigar and try it. So, you let me know how it's working. And if you're not going with the cigarette withdrawal and everything, I'll try it. Because I should. It is a rotten habit. Yeah, I have to, when I have an appointment with him, I have to remember to leave him in the car. Because the first thing he does when he walks in the office, he's like, oh, Grumpy, how you doing? Oh, what do I feel in that pocket? Real? Oh. Well, good for you. Seems like it's working. Oh, the cigar, yeah, Timmy. The bourbon. I can't do alcohol anymore. Not with the medication I'm on. Oh, God, I would, believe me. Or some Glenlivet Scotch on the rocks. My favorite. Oh, yeah, Glenlivet. Instead of bourbon, Timmy, you should be saying Irish whiskey. Come on. Not bourbon. You're an Irishman. Support the kinfolk over across the pond with some good Irish whiskey. Now, if you get some good Irish whiskey, I'll ignore what the doctor said. Join ya in a little Irish whiskey on the rocks. But I have to watch. It'll send me for a loop. Just to let everybody know in the chat, was my next door neighbor when I had my house down the street. And I've known Timmy since he was a baby. I've never had that. I hear it's a kick-ass, I've heard about it, but I've never had it. Too expensive for one. But I'd like to try some. I have some friends that every now and then they'll buy a jug, but they never invite me over for one. Soon as the weather gets better, Timmy, you and I, because I want to drive that goddamn Camaro. I know you got it in the garage. I saw you bring it over to the house, so I know it's there. I want to take it around the block. He's got a kick-ass Camaro, man. I'm not a Chevy person, but that car I want to drive. He's had it for ages. You finally fired it up. Well, when you get it out, I want to take it around the block. Or several blocks. I want to test the clutch. Make sure all the gears are working. Bob, is it a single malt scotch? I'm not familiar with it. I got hooked on Glenlivet. God, years ago. I have tried some other ones, but not that one. See, I've never seen the single serving bottles. I go up every now and then to my liquor store up the corner. You never can get the singles. See, I don't want to buy a big bottle and then find out I don't like it. Oh, I got to put a few miles on it then. I got to put some miles on it. Maybe get on the freeway, go down to West 25th, come back 25th, back to 150th, make that big circle. Blow the carbon out of it. If I can find, see, our liquor store, they don't like to carry the pints, you know. I don't want to buy a big bottle and find out I don't like it, but if it's a single malt, well then I'll try it. If it's a prohibition recipe, I'll give it a shot. Oh, we start out talking sovereign citizens, and now we're talking alcohol. We go all over the place, Bob, you know that. But this is the first time Timmy's been in the chat. Do you listen in on a regular basis and you just don't join in the chat, or is this the first time tonight? Bob, if I walked out on my front lawn, I could just about throw a rock and hit Timmy's. was it a Blazer? I forget what your, hit that white car from here. The one that's backed in the driveway. He has to be loyal to Chevy. He works at a Chevy dealership. Now, I've tried that. There's a couple of different moonshines I've tried. What's that one what's his name? Kelsey. He owns a damn moonshine brewery. What the hell is Equinox? Okay. Oh, yeah. Rub it in. Red Line Edition. Yeah. Isn't that the football player's brother? The Kelsey that owns the Moonshine Distillery? Or am I getting something confused? I could have swore that's what's-his-name's brother. I guess we'll have to be gargling some things tomorrow. But I'm pretty sure Kelsey, his brother, the one that's dating Taylor Swift, I think he used to be a football player too. And then he bought the distillery. Makes his own brand of moonshine. See, I've never been a Chevy person myself. Cadillac, that's about where I went with GM. I mainly been a Ford person. Now I just own junk. But Timmy's got to stay loyal to them Chevys because he works for a Chevy dealer. They'll give him a rash of shit if he buys a Ford. Speaking of Chevys, how's the diesel doing? I thought I saw it sitting in the driveway a while back. Did it need more repairs? I want to drive that too, even though it's an automatic. I would like to find a nice, clean 85 Eldorado. That's the Eldorado. Well, that's what my white one was. I'd like to find another, but if I did find one, they'd want a small fortune for it. That's the only, although a 76 Seville, the first year for the Seville, I'd like to have one of them. Oh, you and your Fleetwoods. Hey, I think Duck got rid of his Jeep. I haven't seen the Jeep. He's been driving a Ford something SUV. I wish I knew he was getting rid of the Jeep. I would have bought that thing. What did he get rid of it for? Usually Jeep owners keep them until they fall apart. I would like to have that. Well, I know the last time I saw him, it was sounding a little rough. But you know me, I don't care. I drive junk. I bought it. Long as the only thing, if it needed a clutch, bye-bye. I don't do clutches on Jeeps. But I know the motor was sounding a little shaky. But if it wasn't too serious, I'd have bought the thing. That's one vehicle I've never owned. A Jeep. I always wanted one. But everybody, even with used Jeeps, everybody thinks they're worth a gazillion dollars. Yeah, but for him, Timmy, for me, you know me, duct tape and popsicle sticks, and I'd have fixed it. But like I say, if it needed a clutch, no. But if it was just some engine problems, that don't bother me. The body wasn't that bad. The top was kind of shitty, though. That goddamn canvas top he had on it. Yeah, but Jeep, you gotta watch what years. Because Jeep has been having a problem with that inline six. Number 5 cylinder detonates. They've had more of them let go. I was reading about it recently. And it's all the number 5 cylinder. The rod lets go. And they can't understand why it's number 5. And I can't remember what years. Because that inline 6 has really been dependable. But they made some change to that engine. And number 5 cylinder detonates. Let's go. I've seen a lot of pictures with holes in the oil pan. But Chrysler, well, what is it, Stellantis, they can't figure out why it's only cylinder 5. And that's the only cylinder that lets go on all of them. And nobody can put a finger on what's causing it. Because, if it was a different cylinder, but every time it lets go, it's cylinder 5. Makes no sense, but I don't know if they changed the firing order or still don't make no sense. Hey, if you ever get any old ragged Nissan or Toyota pickups with a manual and the clutch is still all right, let me know. Like my shitbox, I don't care how much rust is on it. I would like to get a Toyota. Or like a Pathfinder. Or an Armada. But the Armada, they don't make that in the stick. Pathfinder, yeah. I gotta have a manual. Yeah, but see, Americans aren't big on diesels. Across the pond, Jesus Christ, diesels everywhere. They just didn't catch on. I'd have bought one. But there's too much emission crap on the new ones. Jesus Christ. You take a look underneath them things and it's converter and this and that. And then that goddamn DEF. And they've been having problem on some of the semis with them goddamn DEF tanks catching fire. All kinds of bullshit. Well, I think it's getting to be dinner time. Getting to be sign-off time. Let's play the old outro music here. Outro music. There we go. Outro music. We know where, right here. WDWL TV, 7 p.m. Right there. Right here. And we will meet again tomorrow night. And I thank everybody for joining me tonight. It was fun in the chat. I hope to see everybody tomorrow. And with that, Grumpy's going